continuing um, continuing my insight, my lessons on the topic of awareness. Um, I'd like to share. I'd like to share my insights and my learning in relation to the relationships between mind, thinking, and behavior. So, from the lesson, the teacher said the mind determines our thinking and our behavior. In life, to have the result we desire, we need to manage the cause and effect. Now, what is the cause and effects? Meaning the information we have, or how we conduct ourselves to, to have that particular effect. And because of good result only come from good causes, meaning from the correct information, positive concept, positive images. So only when we're able to manage cause and effect, we can shape our lives as we wish. To be honest, I'm not completely clear on that topic. Only when we're able to manage cause and effect, can we shape our lives as we wish. So, what it's saying is when we manage our way of thinking, our awareness, meaning balance towards positive, then we are able to shape what we desire. So, if we desire to climb up that hill. So our mental state, our inner state, when thinking about climbing that steep hill, is not negative, but it's balanced towards positive, meaning we can see ourselves climbing up that hill. Then we know, okay, going back, our feeling towards it is balanced and positive. We'll find out how to climb a steep hill, what to wear, what shoes to use, what type of training to be able to achieve that desired outcome. So it's the relationship between the mind with the way we think and being aware towards what we want to achieve. And the teachers mention basically how do we do this is first we need to manage our mind. Quản trị được tâm thức. Once we manage our mind, once our mind is properly managed, our thinking flows. And when our thinking is right, the right behavior naturally forms. So going back, first we manage our mind, our inner thinking, our awareness. Once we manage it, our thinking follow. And when our thinking is in the right direction, the right behavior, the right technique, the right way of doing things naturally form. And the teachers mentioned that often people try to change behavior directly, like, I want to do this tomorrow, without preparation. For example, well, this is the example that the teacher gave, that when parents want their children to be well behaved and successful, so they focus on controlling the children's behavior and action, and I'm guilty for that. I can make my children study more, doing extra classes. And when I do that, my inner awareness is actually negative because I constantly thinking, are they doing the homework? Are they doing this correctly? Are they achieving certain marks? So this constant control leads to conflict and rarely produce a desired result. So my way of thinking of yes, it certainly sounds very positive, like to be well behaved and successful, but my action is more towards worriness. Then having that mental image, that final mental image that my children is well behaved and successful. So going back to its root, my my desire is seeing my children studying, seeing my children doing extra classes, seeing my children achieving extremely high marks, not a successful human being, happy, successful human being. So that my action is towards, yep, make sure you do this to see my child doing work. Make sure you do this to see my child achieving this result. So I understand. My mouth might say I want my children to be well behaved and successful, but my image inside shapes shapes my action and my belief, and it naturally forms towards that image. So that's my insight on there. And the teacher said that the right way is to manage the mind, because from the mind, right thinking arises, and from thinking, right behavior naturally follow. So the Vietnamese term is quản trị tâm thức. Từ tâm thức sẽ cho ra tư duy, và từ tư duy tự động sẽ có hành vi đúng. So that's my translation for it. Moving forward, what is consciousness? So consciousness in inner awareness. Tâm thức là nhận thức nội tâm. Simply put, consciousness is the inner awareness. Awareness is everything happening in our brain, allowing us to perceive and know the world outside. So, for example, when we have awareness about nature, thunder, rainstorm, and the awareness of biology, the plants, the animals, and so on, here with our learning, we focus on inner awareness. So, our knowledge of wisdom, mentality, character, virtual level of intelligence, tolerance, inner peace, and gratitude, and yeah, basically human. All of these are called consciousness. So to achieve desired result in life, we must manage the cause and effect, and the most important thing is to manage our consciousness, meaning keeping our inner awareness balanced and positive with clear visualizations and concept. And the consciousness is the knowledge of wisdom, the mentality, the character, the virtue, the intelligence, the tolerance, the inner peace, and the gratitude. So once again, to achieve the desired result, we must manage the cause and effect. So we manage that. And the most important thing is to manage our consciousness, keeping our inner awareness balanced and positive with clear visualizations and concepts. Through the learning journey, we refine our visualization and concept. So what it's saying is, yes, we have an image of that, of what we want, but understand that through the stepping stone that we lay, we will have refined towards that way. So it's not jumping from rock, right? When consciousness is well managed, appropriate thinking naturally follows, and then correct behavior arises. Everyone here has to manage consciousness enough to decide, I must study these mental courses, regardless of timing, money, or whatever it is, right? So, because of that, decisions arise from our consciousness. Thinking follow. The actions are taken. If you truly don't want to learn, you won't do it, no matter how easy it could be. That's very true. And I understand that. Because once you decide consciously, it will it will create that okay, my thinking towards that action. And because our consciousness determines thinking, and without inner awareness about goal, we won't be able to generate ideas to achieve it. That process, finding that process is thinking. Once thinking aligned, behavior follow and natural bring out the desired outcome. Now, that desired outcome could be a positive or a negative, but because we align everything about it, that's what we're going to get. So this is the first step that I've learned.